Imagine waking up to an email that doesn't just end your job. It ends your city's future. No meeting, no handshake, no chance to say goodbye, just a digital guillotine. November 21st, 2025, Coppell, Texas, 856 lives deleted. And here's what most people miss. When 856 paychecks vanish overnight, home values don't collapse dramatically. They freeze, listings spike, buyers hesitate, and entire zip codes feel it months before the headlines ever catch up. The terrifying part isn't the layoffs, it's the reason. It wasn't a market crash. It wasn't a global recession. It was one person you've never met making one single decision that wiped out an entire facility overnight. And if you think you're safe because you live in North Texas, you've been lied to. We've been told the Texas economic miracle is bulletproof. For years, the narrative has been fed to us: California is dying and Texas is the promised land. We believed a Fortune 50 giant like FedEx, a company that has survived 5 decades of economic cycles, was the ultimate safe bet. We were wrong. While Governor Greg Abbott stands behind a podium bragging about Texas being #1 for business, the logistics sector is bleeding out in the dark. Think about the speed of this collapse. In May, it was Fort Worth, 305 jobs gone. In June, it was Garland and Plano, another 131 families forced into the cold. And now the heavy hitter, Coppell, 856 workers, all gone. That's over 1,200 families destroyed in 6 months in a single region. And the governor? Silence. No press conference, no emergency job programs, no accountability, just silence while the region he calls the fastest growing in America watches its backbone snap. But to understand why this is happening, we have to look at the lie FedEx sold its workers back in 2022. 3.5 years ago, FedEx hosted a massive job fair in Coppell. They didn't just offer a paycheck, they offered the American dream. They spoke about stability. They spoke about a 50-year legacy of reliability. They needed warehouse staff, logistics coordinators, and supervisors for the Sandy Lake Road facility. People moved their families here. They bought homes based on the promise that FedEx was forever. The Coppell facility wasn't just a warehouse, it was a third-party logistics powerhouse. It served the biggest companies in North America. It was predictable, it was scalable, it was the kind of business that should have thrived as e-commerce exploded. But there was a poison pill hidden in the contract. FedEx Supply Chain's entire business model for this facility depended on keeping one specific client happy. Just one. In November 2025, that unnamed client made a calculation. They decided to move their business to a different provider. They didn't care about the 856 people in Coppell. They didn't care about the local economy. They just walked away. And because FedEx had bet the entire facility on this one account, they didn't fight, they didn't pivot, they just sent the email. This isn't just a business failure, it's a systemic betrayal. Companies are supposed to diversify. They are supposed to spread risk. But FedEx chose the easy path. And when that path hit a dead end, the workers were the ones who went over the cliff. This brings us to the most dangerous part of the story, Network 2.0. This isn't just about one facility in Texas. This is a $2 billion cost reduction strategy designed to gut the company's infrastructure. The goal? Close hundreds of locations, merge express and ground operations, consolidate everything into fewer, leaner buildings. FedEx has already stated they intend to close 30% of their package distribution facilities by 2026. If you work at a FedEx facility today, look around you. Statistically, 1 out of every 3 of those buildings won't exist in 18 months. In 2025 alone, FedEx announced nearly 4,000 official layoffs. But here's the open loop most people are missing. That number only tracks the direct employees. It doesn't include the thousands of independent contractors, the drivers, and the support staff who don't get a WARN notice. The real number of lives ruined is likely triple the official count. Let's talk about the human cost, because the numbers on a spreadsheet don't feel the pain. Look at Maria. She's a warehouse supervisor who moved from California in 2021. She was told Texas was the land of opportunity and lower costs. She bought a house in Louisville with a 30-minute commute. She did everything right. Now she's 4 months into unemployment, watching her savings evaporate while competing against the very people she used to manage for the same handful of open jobs. Then there's David. 8 years of loyalty. He worked his way up from a package handler to a coordinator. At 43, he's the primary breadwinner for his wife and 2 kids. His severance covered 60 days. That clock has run out. He's now working part-time at Home Depot for half his old salary, watching his children's college fund disappear just to keep the lights on. And Jennifer, a single mom with 2 teenagers, her rent is $1,400. The maximum unemployment check in Texas is about $2,300 a month. Once you add in a car payment, groceries, and utilities, she is $800 short every single month. In Texas, unemployment runs out in 26 weeks. After that, there is no safety net. These aren't people looking for a handout. These are the people who kept the world moving during the pandemic, and they were discarded because of one client's signature. While this tragedy unfolds, Governor Abbott continues to tweet about the Texas miracle. He takes credit for every relocation, every ribbon cutting, and every corporate tax break. But when the doors are chained shut, he's nowhere to be found. His political brand depends on the narrative that Texas is unstoppable. Mass layoffs don't fit the script, so he ignores them. He hopes you'll be distracted by the growth numbers from last year, while the logistics sector in North Texas begins to collapse under the weight of shifting trade policies and corporate greed. The future for these 856 workers is grim. FedEx says they will provide job placement assistance, but where are they going to place them? UPS is cutting jobs. Amazon just slashed 14,000 corporate roles. The logistics market isn't expanding, it's contracting. There is a flicker of hope, though. A massive class action investigation is being led by firms like Strauss Borelli. They are looking into whether FedEx violated the WARN Act by not providing adequate notice or compensation. If they win, it might provide a few more weeks of breathing room. But a settlement check isn't a career. It isn't stability. The Texas miracle was always a house of cards. It was built on the idea that companies move here for the freedom to operate. But that freedom also includes the freedom to fire you without warning and leave a community in ruins. Coppell will feel this blow for years. 856 paychecks are no longer flowing into local restaurants, grocery stores, or small businesses. When a facility this size dies, the town around it begins to wither. FedEx built a facility dependent on a single client, and when that client left, they let 856 families pay the price. Abbott stays silent because he can't fix a broken business model, and he won't admit that the miracle is fading. If you live in North Texas, or any region relying on a single major employer, take this as your pattern interrupt. Your stable job is one board meeting, one client decision, or one Network 2.0 update away from disappearing. But here is the cold, hard truth that no one in the state capitol wants to admit. This isn't just a FedEx problem, and it's not just a Coppell problem. We are witnessing the end of the reliability era. For decades, we believed that if you worked for a titan of industry, you were part of a protected class. We thought the sheer size of these corporations acted as a shield, against local volatility. But in the new age of algorithmic management and Network 2.0 efficiency, your 20 years of service or your specialized skills are nothing more than data points to be optimized. When a single client can pull a plug and delete nearly 1,000 jobs in a heartbeat, it proves that the Texas miracle isn't a solid foundation. It's a high-speed treadmill. If you aren't running faster every single day to justify your cost to the spreadsheet, you are already obsolete. The silence from the governor's office isn't just a lack of empathy, it's a signal. It's a signal that in the new Texas economy, you are officially on your own. The story isn't over. More closures are coming. More families will wake up to that email. Subscribe and stay alert because the Texas miracle won't save your job, only being informed will.